Hi everyone, this is Aaron from HH Watch Reviews. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will take a look at the Proxima PX1716. I purchased this watch from the Proxima official store on Aliexpress, and full disclosure, I was given an extra discount for it. But as usual, that won't affect my review of the watch, and they'll see this review at the same time as everyone else. This watch sells for about $200 before any discount codes or coupons. You can have it for a better price right now during the AliExpress anniversary sale. So if you're interested in this watch or any other watch from Proxima, I will leave a link in the description down below. Know that it is an affiliate link, and anything you buy using that link will give me a small commission without any additional cost to you. That commission helps me fund more watches and get more reviews for you. So let's take a look at the Proxima PX1716. In my opinion, this watch is a modern take on the 1963, and that starts with the dimensions. So we have a 39mm case diameter with a lug-to-lug of 47.5 millimeters, a thickness of 12.7 millimeters. The lug width is 20 millimeters and the crown measures 6.4 millimeters. The pushers are 2 millimeters smaller at 4.4 millimeters. So as you can see, this case is very well proportioned. I think the size of this watch works really well with the dial design. It wears very well on the wrist, and even with its 33mm dial, it doesn't look big on wrist. Now, this is the first time I'm handling this case from Proxima. I know they use the same case for the PX1715 and the PX1717, but this is my first experience with it. The finishing is very well done. There is a very slim polished bezel around the sapphire crystal. The top of the lugs are brushed. The brushing is very finely done, very well made. The transitions between the brushing and the polishing is also very sharp. There is a nice polished bevel that goes across the case side. Then the side has two different finishings. So you have the top portion that is brushed just like the top of the lugs, with the polished bevel separating each section. And the second portion is cut inwards and is completely polished. Kind of reminds me of how Seiko does their cases. And if I'm not mistaken, it is because the polished inward surface will reflect your skin, and it will give you that illusion that the case is slimmer than it actually is. And I can confirm this watch feels very slim on the wrist and also looks very slim. So even on the supplied elastic NATO style strap, this watch still looks very slim. So flipping the case over, we have a sapphire display case back where you can see the beautiful movement. We'll talk more about the movement later in the video. So overall, the case finishing is very well done. I really like that they didn't just give this case a slab side, but instead opted for a nice cut midway the case side and with a dual finish. It's a nice design and a purposeful one also. The brushed portions won't show scratches too easily, and the polished bottom helps with the perceived thickness of the watch. Now looking at the front of the watch, the dial design isn't anything new. We've seen it on the Seagull 1963 and it pretty much is the same here. But the execution of this dial is done very well. We have a beautiful enamel dial with an almost satin finish. That beige champagne dial shimmers beautifully under the light. The outer edges of the dial has a second track printed in black and markings for every 5 minutes. The even numbers are in Arabic numerals and the odd hours are these triangular indices. All the markers are applied and finished in a gold tone. I think the gold tone indices match really well the dial color. The hour and minute hands are stick-shaped and finished in a nice blue color. The chronograph hand is long and reaches the edge of the dial. The hand is colored in red and it matches the Red Star logo at the 12th. The sub-dials have the same color as the dial, but are ever so slightly sunray finished. You can't see it in most light conditions, but it's there, and when you notice it, it gives that little extra pop. The left sub-dial is the running seconds indicator and the right one is a 30 minutes scale. The hands are also blue like the hour and minute hand. The only text on the dial are, well, at the 12 o'clock it says 22 shun, which means 22 joules, and I'm really sorry if that's not how you pronounce it. And at the 6 o'clock position it says made in China in Chinese lettering. At least that's what I got from Google Translate. Now, if you don't want this classic dial design, Proxima does offer this watch in another variation. There is this classic one that I went for, which has the 12-hour marker and a red star logo under it. But there's also a version with their unicorn logo in place of the 12-hour marker. And if you want an even more modern look, there is the PX1717 with the watermelon or avocado colors. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to review the watermelon or the avocado model. So even though the design of this dial is not original, the execution is very well done. I like the little details like the slight sunray finish on the subdials or the beveled edges around them. The subdials are well proportioned and they don't cut any indices, which is something that bothers me on watches that do that. The size of the dial is also very good. It has enough empty space so the dial doesn't feel too crowded. So I got nothing but good things to say about this dial. Now covering the dial is a boxed sapphire crystal. The crystal has plenty of AR coating, visibility has been great, and there are no distortions when looking at an angle. There is a white cloudy effect when looking at the side of the crystal. I don't hate it, but I do wish it was clear, just so that the crystal could completely disappear when looking at the profile of the watch. The display case back is also sapphire. I don't know if there's any AR coating on it, but it's plenty clear and gives an unobstructed view of the movement. Proxima states that this is a modified Seagull ST1902 movement. How exactly is it modified? I don't know. I compared some photos I found online and I really can't tell what's different. But that's a good thing though, because it is a very beautiful movement. This is the first time owning a watch with this movement and I can confirm it is as beautiful as all the reviewers say it is. So this is a hand-wound movement with 22 joules, about 42 hours of power reserve, and it beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour. The winding is very smooth, and I really like that you can't overwind the movement because the crown will just stop turning. The crown is a good size and there is plenty of grip on it. There's also a good amount of space in between the pushers and the crown so they don't interfere when you wind the movement. Usually with a hand-wound watch, brands go for a push-pull crown, and it is the case here. That does mean that this watch only has 50 meters of water resistance, but that's not a problem because 50 meters is plenty for a chronograph watch. So using the chronograph is very simple. The top pusher will start and stop the chronograph, and the bottom one will reset it. When pushing the top pusher, there is a very satisfying mechanical click, but when resetting the chronograph, the bottom pusher has this very different click. It's more of a soft, tiny click sound, which has its own satisfying feeling, but it's very different from the top one. So as a first-time owner of a watch with this movement, I am very happy with its performance and looks. We'll see how well this movement holds up over time. When I read that the strap of this watch was an elastic NATO style strap, I was a bit worried because I know that elastic straps usually add a little bit of thickness to the watch, and I was worried that it wouldn't fit the styling or the design of this watch. But now that I've had it in hand, I'm pleasantly surprised. This strap is very comfortable, it fits the look of the watch. It adds about 3 millimeters to the thickness of the watch, but for whatever reason, it doesn't appear that much thicker on the wrist. Also, the hardware on the strap is very well made. If you look at the buckle here, it's not that simple off-the-shelf buckle. It has a very nice design that I really like. The sides are high polished and the center portion is brushed, just like the keepers. And if we look at the underside of the buckle, there is a cutout for the strap to sit in. So when wearing the watch, the buckle sits very close to the strap or the wrist. Visually looks very slim on the wrist. I really like this strap and I might have to add a few more to my collection. So in conclusion, I think that this is a great alternative to the Seagull 1963. If you like that watch but want it in a more modern case design, then you should definitely consider the Proxima PX1716. They kept that classic dial design for those interested in getting something very close to that 1963, but also offer a slightly different variation with the unicorn logo for those who want something different. Let me know in the comments below which variation of the dial do you prefer. And that wraps up my review of the Proxima PX1716. If you're interested in this watch, it is currently at a discount for the Aliexpress anniversary sale. check out the links down below in the description. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with a friend or two. And if you want to see more watch content, please subscribe to the channel and click on that notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next one.